안녕하세요. 하나하나 한국어입니다. So in this video, we're going to study Sogang Korean 1B textbook chapter 5. 같이 영화 볼까요? So in this chapter, we're going to learn 3 grammar points as well as 3 dialogues and reading and listening. Let's go. 자, first grammar point. 을까요? 있어요. This is exactly equivalent to shall we? So, for example, here is the dialogue. 같이 춤 출까요? How would you make it? 추다, the base form, to dance. 추다 plus 을까요? So what does it mean? Shall we dance together? And she says, 네, 좋아요. So let's practice. This is very simple. 을까요? 자, exercise 봅시다. You can use this grammar point to suggest any activity to do together. Okay? So, for example, number 1 봅시다. 같이 점심을 먹다 있어요. 같이 점심을 먹다. And then how would you say, shall we eat lunch together? 같이 점심을 먹을까요? 말해요. 먹을까요? It's already given here, isn't it? 같이 점심을 먹을까요? 네, 좋아요. 같이 먹어요. 자, as I said many times, this looks like a statement. However, this is propositive, isn't it? How do we know? There's a 같이 or 함께. Then it is propositive. So we have to interpret it as let's. So let's have together. Let's eat together. 자, 2번 갑시다. 차 한잔 하다. Have a drink. This is an expression, isn't it? To do a cup of tea. So you can use 한잔 in other contexts as well. For example, 물 한 잔 써요. 술 한 잔 써요. Or like 맥주 한 잔 or 와인 한 잔. We can use it anytime. So, shall we have a cup of tea? 어떻게 말해요? 같이 차 한 잔 할까요? 말해요. 차 한 잔 할까요? Then you can answer. 네, 좋아요. 같이 해요. Again, this is let's. 자, 3번 봅시다. 여기에 앉다. To sit here. How would you say, shall we sit here together? 어떻게 말해요? 같이 여기에 앉을까요? 같이 여기에 앉을까요? 네, 좋아요. 같이 앉아요. 자, last one 갑시다. 4번. 같이 사진을 찍다. So this is phrase, isn't it? Take a photo, take a picture. Shall we take a picture together? 어떻게 말해요? 같이 사진을 찍을까요? Then, if you want to say yes, 네, 같이 찍어요. 말해요. Okay, very good. 자, second grammar point 봅시다. 자, 하고 when can we use it? Previously, we already know this. We can use it when you link to nouns, isn't it? So, for example, apple and pear. Apple and pear. 어떻게 말해요? In English, in Korean, 사과와 배 말해요. 사과랑 배 말해요. And finally, 사과하고 배 말해요. Isn't it? So, 하고, we used it when we link to nouns. I should make it clear. 하고 is different from 고. So usually when we link to verbs, so for example, 먹다, 자다. How do we say? We eat and sleep. 어떻게 말해요? 먹고 자요. However, 자, how about this? 수영하다 and 공부하다. 자, when we link 어떻게 말해요? 수영하고 공부해요. 자, because we use 하고 here, people frequently confused with this 하고 and this 하고. Ironically, they both mean and, isn't it? Seemingly by coincidence, it looks like 하고. However, this grammar point is 고 when we link two verbs. Okay, be careful. And another case I want to mention that when we link two sentences, sentence and sentence, I don't know why, probably Google Translator or Papago Translator says and is 하고. However, you cannot use in this context. For example, there's a long sentence and this sentence ends. And then you want to say and then another sentence. In this case, we use 그리고. You never say 하고 here, okay? 하고 is not correct. You have to say 그리고 in this case. 자, too much talk. Because today this grammar point 하고 is different from any of these. This 하고, I would say number 2. This is particle, so definitely you need noun. In English, you can interpret it with an. With an. For example, 자, repeat after me, please. 어제 누구하고 저녁 먹었어요? Very good. 자, 저녁 먹다, because there's a space, I would treat it as a verb and this as an object, although the object marker 을 is omitted. 자, 누구하고 뭡니까? With whom. So she's asking, yesterday, with whom did you have dinner? Because she saw this yesterday, isn't it? And he says, 수잔 씨하고 먹었어요. 따라하세요. 수잔 씨하고 먹었어요. What did he say? He ate with Susan. Okay? So with noun, with someone, we use 하고. But I have to mention that when you say with, I should say with a person here. This is only for person. Because in this case, for example, with pencil, with pen, with computer, we use different marker, isn't it? In this case, we use 으로 or 로. What is this? Method marker. Then let's exercise. You're going to ask and answer both. 자, 1번 산책하다 있습니다. You want to say with whom does Andy take a walk? 어떻게 말해요? 누구하고 산책해요? And then you should answer that 미나 있네요. He's taking a walk with 미나. 어떻게 말해요? 미나 씨하고 산책해요. 미나 씨하고 산책해요. 자, 봅시다. Then, still, the subject is always Andy 씨. Okay? 자, 2번 갑시다. 전화하다 있어요. With whom is Andy having a phone call? 어떻게 말해요? 앤디 씨가 누구하고 전화해요? He's talking on the phone with one. 어떻게 말해요? 완 씨하고 전화해요. 자, 3번 갑시다. 테니스를 치다 있어요. 자, how would you say with whom is Andy playing tennis with? 어떻게 말해요? 앤디 씨가 누구하고 테니스를 쳐요? He's playing tennis with Mina. 어떻게 말해요? 미나 씨하고 쳐요 말해요. You can omit 테니스를 here. You can omit this when you answer because it's too obvious. 4번 갑시다. 춤을 추다 있습니다. 자, you want to ask with whom is Andy dancing? 자, 어떻게 말해요? 앤디 씨가 누구하고 춤을 춰요 말해요. 아이고, 춰요 말해요. 춤을 춰요. And then you want to say he's dancing with Susan. 어떻게 말해요? 수잔하고 춤을 춰요. Or 수잔하고 춰요. You can obviously omit this. Okay. 자, let me ask you a few questions then. 제가 질문할게요. 누구하고 같이 여행 가고 싶어요? Very good. 자, this time 여러분이 질문하세요. This question. 시작. If you ask me, as many of you guys know already, 저는 톰 하디하고 같이 여행 가고 싶어요. 자, let me ask you another question. 누구하고 같이 영화 보고 싶어요? 아주 좋습니다. 자, 이번에 여러분이 질문하세요. This question. 시작. Obviously, Tom Hardy하고 같이 영화 보고 싶어요. 아주 좋습니다. Let's move on. 자, the second grammar point, 고입니다. And it says present here, isn't it? By mistake, I already explained about this, isn't it, in the previous grammar point? You use it when you link two verbs, isn't it? So, for example, 다이얼로그 할까요? 오후에 뭐 해요? What do you do in the afternoon? And Mina says, 영화 보고 따라하세요. Repeat after me. 영화 보고 저녁을 먹어요. Very good. This sentence actually consists of two different clauses, isn't it? Two different sentences. 자, 영화 보다 그리고 저녁을 먹다 있어요. And to link these two verbs, we use what? 보고. We change 보다 into 보고. So get rid of 다 and add the 고 here. This is how you link two verbs. 자, let's exercise. It's very simple, isn't it? 자, he asks, 수업 후에 뭐 해요? What do you do after the class? And she answers what? 숙제하고 운동해요. It seems like 하고 because the base form is 숙제하다. And we just get rid of 다. And add the 고. So it looks like 하고, however, it is just simple 고 here. Okay? 자, 숙제하고 운동해요. She will do homework and then exercise. Number 1 is already done. 자, let me ask you and please link these two activities, okay? 자, 여러분, 수업 후에 뭐 해요? 아주 좋아요. If you said 책을 읽고 친구하고 전화해요. 아주 좋아요. 자, number 3 갑시다. 여러분 수업 후에 뭐 해요? 아주 좋습니다. What did you say? 생일 카드를 만들고 파티하러 가요. 자, here's another grammar point here, isn't it? 자, 우리 으러 가다 뭐예요? We came across this many times. To go somewhere in order to. Okay? To go in order to. 자, last one 갑시다. 4번. 여러분, 수업 후에 뭐 해요? 아주 좋아요. If you said 한국어 CD를 듣고 산책해요, then you're correct. Okay? Very good. 자, this grammar point introduce the same grammar point, however, in the past tense. 자, you might be curious. 자, dialogue 먼저 볼까요? 어제 오후에 뭐 했어요? So this time it is the past tense, isn't it? What did you do yesterday in the afternoon? 뭐 했어요? And she said what? 영화 보고 저녁을 먹었어요. So basically we don't change this bit into the past tense, okay? This is intact. We don't change this bit. So she said, I watched a movie and had dinner. The tense is expressed only at the end of the sentence here, for the last one, okay? The first verb, we don't apply any tense here. 자, 우리 연습합시다. Let's practice. In the past tense this time, I'm going to ask you, 제가 과거 물어볼게요. In the past, 어제 뭐 했어요? What did you do yesterday? You want to say, I watched a movie and listened to music. 어떻게 말해요? 영화 보고 음악을 들었어요. So basically this is past, obviously. However, we don't apply past tense here. Okay? 자, number 2 갑시다. Number 2. 여러분, 어제 뭐 했어요? Then answer me, please. 신문을 읽고 차 한 잔 했어요. Easy, isn't it? You just put past tense here, not here. 자, 3번 갑시다. 어제 뭐 했어요? Exactly, 아주 좋습니다. 어떻게 말해요? 수영하고 쇼핑 했어요 말해요. Isn't it? 자, last one 갑시다. 4번. 어제 뭐 했어요? You can say 저녁을 먹고 집에서 텔레비전을 봤어요. 할 수 있어요. Isn't it? So 봤어요. Past tense. However, we don't put past tense here. Very good. Very simple, isn't it? 아주 좋습니다. 수고하셨습니다.